I was really not planning on doing a second video, but I got an interesting message and I would like to read that message to you. I really enjoyed your video. On your next video, which I was not planning to do, you could also add just a little on how a person can attract those different forms of love, both employers and employees, on the benefits of these types of love, especially on job satisfaction and great working environments, and also avoiding stresses. So fam, we only go with what the people say. So welcome to the channel, and today I will be talking about love languages in the workplace part 2. If you missed the first video, you can watch it. It's the previous video, and by previous video it means I'm gonna leave a link on the description box so you can go to it and watch it before you listen to this. I'm Lihle and you're watching Love in the Workplace. So I talked about in the previous video, maybe like a brief recap on how I was looking forward to learning intentionally about love, but COVID happened. Besides COVID, I got a book by Gary Chapman and I just felt like it wasn't speaking to me in terms of the love languages. So I translated that to what I think is is love languages in the workplace. So video in the link description box below. So today, like the message that I read, it touches on so many aspects and I'm going to talk to them in these 3 stages. I made notes so that I'm able to cover everything. How to attract love languages at work. And then we're going to talk about also the benefits of love and job satisfaction and great working environments to avoid stresses. So it's basically 2 parts that has so many points. So as I previously mentioned, other videos in the video previously, I used to work for a brief period though with a little bit of experience in EAP, employee wellness assistance, which normally goes with and line with human resources and blah blah. And also recently my change moving to a different country and the experience of working and how those things have been applicable or still applicable in that situation. So let's talk about how to attract love languages at work. The love languages are, as listed from the previous video, are the ones that Gary Chapman talks about that every person knows about in the world. Well, except maybe not everybody. Physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, and which one did I leave behind? I'm not sure, but yes, there's 5 love languages. I think one of the ways you can attract love languages at work is to understand that this is a job. First of all, you need to understand that you are at work. And I know that the dynamics of work go a long way in terms of your position, labor laws operating in your country, and so many things. But let me assume in a perfect world situation, understand that this is a job. This is not home. There's something they used to say in university, our lecturers, when they were telling us that like that's the best way I can say that is in Siswati. Like at work, it's not your mom's and mother's house. This is a job. You need to treat it as a job. And I think that's one of the ways you attract this love languages. As an employer, employee. As an employer, you understand that, you know what, this is my business, I own it, I'm in charge, I am the boss, but this is work. So I need to rate people based on the work that they were hired for. Where personal issues and vendettas, obviously they might affect the work, but they shouldn't, where you minimize the risk of that happening at all costs. Number 1, as an employer and an employee, understand this is a job. Basic understanding, this is work. So there's like I said, that love language of physical touch, that the best form of physical touch in the workplace is to pay me on payday. I don't want to hear news and stories, but also to attract the fact that I need to be paid on time. I also need to make the sense of coming in on time to work, and then step number 1, identify and understand that this is a job. And number 2, know your work deliverables and job function. The most confusing thing, the most stressful thing is to be at a job and just not know what you're there for. And the experience is usually with interns. I'm not sure in how in other countries and organizations things work, but most of the time in internships that I've had, I had to put in the work, finding out with like collaborating with university content with the employer, Gucci, like fam, like what is my purpose here, what am I supposed to do? Because sometimes you get exploited into just bringing in coffee, running errands, and you're not learning the actual purpose you hired for in the job. Know the work deliverables and work on those, because you know what, at work, I'm not talking this like it's gonna be a perfect thing that you're gonna do the things I'm telling you in this video and everything is gonna be perfect. But in the workplace, what's gonna happen is that people are gonna hate you, you're gonna be underrated and stuff. But it's better to be underrated, but you know without a shadow of doubt that you did everything that was required of you. That's the only thing you can control. You cannot control people's perceptions of you, but you can control how you perceive yourself and how you act. So the best possible way you can do what you're expected to do at work. Obviously, personal issues in your life are going to seep through, which is the purpose, the entire purpose of workness wellness programs or EAP, to assist people to make sense of work-life balance, make sense of the work, that even if you are having personal issues or life issues in general, you're still able to complete the work. And the reason you were hired for the position is to do the deliverables, to do the work. In finance, the company hired you, not fired you. Hired you to be in charge of finance. So you need to do the finance part, you need to make the numbers work. In sales, you need to make the sales happen, you need to do the marketing, do what you can. And sometimes it normally means you're going to have to learn outside the box. If you're lucky enough to work for organizations that do provide training, that's great and amazing, but you need to do the extra mile of it. Like I said before in the previous video, that sometimes you're not doing your dream job, your perfect job, like me, but then sometimes you need to do the things that make the bills to be paid. So you need to go the extra mile so that the work becomes enjoyable and you're actually competent enough to do. Because there's nothing as stressful like being here, not liking the job, and being incompetent in it and just not knowing what to do. That's gonna frustrate you, fam, like for real. And then number 3, work diligently, but not to the point of exerting or over exerting yourself to burn out. The thing about diligent working is that we're working with different people in the workplace, and you really can't control everybody, because some people are friends with the supervisors, whatever. But like I said, you cannot control everybody, you cannot control anything. Do what you can control. To talk about the issue of not overexerting yourself, there's a certain type of workers that I'll call leeches, but I just don't know why. I'm just gonna call them leeches. Those people who come in late who come into work late, or they just come in on time, but they just spend time on social media or doing irrelevant things, and then all of a sudden they need to take work home because they don't have enough time. You do have enough time, it's just that you came to work and you're busy with your phone. Or those people who come in late and then they need to work late, and all of a sudden management thinks, this is a hard worker, like this girl is just the best, no, you were here late, so that's why you need to work late. Like seriously. So do what you have to do. You cannot control people's cheating tendencies at work and how management overlooks, because at the end of the day, consistency is what brings results. I know there's situations where you can be cheated at work, where you're undervalued, underrated and all of that, but one thing that I'm 100% sure of, whether you leave the organization or you stay in the organization, consistency is what will always speak of the results. Because some people get up or climb up the ladder because of nepotism or other things that you cannot control. But the thing is, you're going to gain competency, and also depending on the economy, the type of economy you're working in or with. That's going to be a topic for another day. And then I told you I have notes, so I'm looking at the notes. Support the company vision. I think one of the things that you need to understand is to put yourself, or like remove yourself from a perfect world situation. Understand the economy that you're working within, and understand the company vision of the company that you're working for. If you're working in corporate for in corporate for finance company, understand the purpose of that business or company for the time that you're working there. For as long as you work at Standard Bank, work for Standard Bank. Don't work at Standard Bank but live for FNB, whatever that means. And also, if you work for the government, just understand that you work for government, and this is what working for government entails. in comparison to working for corporate or working for an NGO. Understand that as long as I'm here, I need to do this so that the system works. And you may feel like the management is not doing enough. The people who are in charge are not doing the things that they're supposed to do. But always remember locus of control. What can you do about it? Is it something that you're going to affect, or is it something that's going to affect you? If bad management affects you, think about to what extent, and also to what extent are you going to affect, what kind of changes are you going to make in a bad working environment to make it conducive for you. You decide to intentionally overlook some of the things. When I used to work somewhere, I will not say, there were certain things that just annoyed me, where we're supposed to be doing work, but then all of a sudden you're being sent on errands that are like, but I'm not the tea girl here. And then there's people who are gonna come and say, you know what, at work you need to humble yourself and blah, blah, blah. But also I know that my position is to work in this particular, because I want to gain the experience in the work, blah, 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 and all of that. And then I had the encounter of going to another organization seeking to work for an industrial psychology placement, and they told us that the reason they cannot take us in is because they don't have anything for us to do. They don't want us to become tea people who are just running errands. They want us to gain competency in the field, which is something I appreciated, because that is what the world of work is supposed to be and it's supposed to do. Help us to gain competency. You already have people who are hired to run errands, so you don't need another professional to run errands for you, unless of course you are exploiting people. And then support company vision. I think that's broad, like there's so many things I could say, but you know, we're running out of time here. And then the benefits of love in the job, towards job satisfaction and great working environment. I think the benefits of love just come together, like couple all of them and combine them into a jolly big rainbow bubble or whatever. They're important in the workplace because they make life easy for you, employer, employee. When the employer delivers on what they said, you're going to work for this company and those are going to be the benefits for you. You're going to grow in your career, you're going to get to be in charge and work in great projects, you're going to whatever, and you also get what you got to do. Get the benefits, the car, money, whatever. And I know that sometimes, we want to have everybody be entrepreneurial. One day you're going to start your own company, which is great, but sometimes it's not what's possible now. What's possible now is that you get a job and you work through the ladder, you work through the process, so as far as you possibly can. So number one, I think there's only one reason anyway. Doing all that is expected of you. I think the benefit is that it's important to know that the world of work is shady and not perfect. So what I'm talking to you, about you, may seem like I'm talking about people in corporates, but I'm talking about people everywhere. In the world of creatives, in the world of owning your own business, there's little that you can control, and you need to be aware of things that you can control as a person in the workplace. If you work in retail, you work in a shop, all those things, your job is to make sure that the company achieves its goal, the store achieves its goal. For as long as they're paying you, you need to provide customer satisfaction. You need to help customers who are buying at the store, let them know about promotions. When people are asking you about something, you can't just not know. Like if I show up and I'm like, excuse me, where can I find milk? You need to know where milk is, so that you can tell me where milk is, because the purpose of you working here is to help people find milk, whatever. So, and if you work in I need to ask something about, I brought this thing and it doesn't fit, blah blah. You need to know the store policy on returns and stuff like that. So there's actually a lot. I don't plan on doing a part 3, but this is up to you guys on how far it goes. But I just feel like at this point, this is a topic that's not very hyped up, and I'm not doing a lot of movements and stuff, but I just think it's important to think about it, so that we recover from COVID and we go back to work, whether we go back physically or whatever, I just think it's important to understand your job function, to understand why you are there, and understand also if it's your transition period where you know for sure, without a shadow of doubt, that you're not called to these things, you're just passing by. Do what you have to, because it's going to build your resume, and it's going to help you in general as a person in the prospective future of what you want to achieve, whether you want to leave the world of corporate or working for other people and eventually starting your own business. These things are going to be useful, because as an entrepreneur, as someone who owns your own business, you need more diligence than when you're working for somebody, because like if you mess things up, it's all on you. So that's all I have for you today on this channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, do it all. Thank you. Bye.